I tell you what, I think Ryan may have stumbled upon a topic, because even if you said, okay, Giants fans, I'll give you the Angels right now or the Giants right now, I think I'm taking the Angels. I am. And I'm not, I get it. The Giants probably have a better record, but if you're a Giants fan, I want Ohtani because I can re-sign him. You're taking the Angels.
I'm right behind you in that line. Oh, yeah, you said it too. Don't forget Mike Trout, who should be back.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
he's not bad.
Yeah, no doubt. So, again, I hear what the caller's saying, but it's like the Forrest Gump, Steiny. He's on the bus stop saying, almost like we don't have a chance this year, and I don't want to speak for him, but it's going to be so greater later. A lot of times that doesn't manifest, but if that's what floats your boat right now, and again, I'm not coming down on Farhan, but I do understand the Shaskys of the world and the Bontes. Okay, you said you're going to be aggressive. Where's it at? And I just think if they could have done something to enhance this current group, whether that be Steiny, starting rotation, or a bat, when you get in and get hot, that can take you further and maybe do what you did and duplicate in 2010. So I don't know, but the Angels, we know why they're doing it. Artie's doing it. It's not just for this season. It's hopefully to, strengthen their profile and keep Ohtani there. But I'm taking Trout and Ohtani over the Giants, they don't have that star offensive player. They have it kind of by committee, as opposed to you look at the Angels. Give me Trout and Ohtani.
888-957-9570 is the number if you want to jump into this conversation. By the way, you want to talk about...
Giants have a better record than the Angels.
I said that.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear.
I said the Giants had a better record than the Angels. Yeah. I said that.
Yeah. I was thinking
earlier
about you. That's why
in the show.
Went out one air.
Well, I look at the standings. I don't look... See, one of the problems, one of the differences you and I have, and it's a difference I have that with present-day sports, is why aren't the standings the most important thing?
Well, they are.
No, they're not.
And that's why the Giants are a playoff team.
Well, then why aren't they? Look, go to MLB.com right now.
I got the baseball standings up right now.
Well, right, but go to the front page of MLB.com.
Okay.
And why don't you start from the left, which is where we start in our culture.
Where are you going?
From number one. I want you to look at what's it called? The top.
The news.
News is first. Okay. What's next?
Watch.
Okay.
That's a highlight.
Sure. What's next?
Scores.
Oh, scores. Yeah. Okay.
Where are you?
I'll bet statistics up there soon.
Yeah, schedule.
Okay.
And behind it, stats.
Individual stats. And then standings. Standings is the most important thing.
No doubt. I agree with you.
But they have, see, stats are before standings. It's why
interesting.
What's up is down and what's down is up.
You think that's on purpose?
I don't know if it's on purpose or not. I just know it's a sign.
I was going to say it's alphabetical order.
Sign.
It's not, because watch is W, so it's right next to news.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I mean, the standings are the only thing that matters.
So, and you're right. And speaking of which, the Giants right now are the number one wild card. It's tight, Steiny, and I know they're still on the Dodgers' ass, the Giants. So I can't wait for them to hook up one last time. But I got to ask you a question. I'm okay if I tell you Haniger may be back, Yaz, and Estrada, the guy that makes it all, wouldn't that have you okay and not go to the top roof and yell that they didn't make a move?
Goo. You do realize where we're at right now, don't you?
America.
You know how Draymond Green said, don't let us win a championship?
Oh, yeah.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare let the Giants get into the postseason. Because
I'm feeling some of that.
Because first of all, if the Giants get into the postseason, anything can happen. Yeah. But if they get into the postseason, the streak continues.
They scored 80 runs last month and were damn near 500. They have a formula. They have guys that give great at bats. Are they the best team? No. And all of a sudden now the bullpen or the starting rotation, which we scoff at, is getting contributions from Manai. Everybody. It's just like, how is this working? So maybe an arm or two, I don't know, but I'm like Steiny, you're right. They get in. Baseball is a sport to watch.
Thank you.
I'm with
Thank
you.
you. And as a guy who was saying before the season, let's let it play
I'll
out.
give you that victory lap.
Let's let it play out. Let's halfway through the year. And then I said, you know what? I don't like it's clear that there's not it's clear it's a seller's market. I said, you know what? I like where we're at. Let's sit tight and let's see what our young players can do.
Okay.
And you know what? If they make the playoffs,
and Steiny,
your boy's hell of a year
who wouldn't
continues.
We'd have to
And
find
wait,
that audio.
wait
I don't
until
know
the
if
Giants claim Zach Greinke.
So what would you tell? That's funny. What would you tell the guys like Shasky that eloquently just type what they feel? And I can't speak
I don't
for
know what he
Shasky.
said.
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
Paraphrase. I think Shasky and the diehard Giant fans, Bonte, want Ohtani. You weren't getting Ohtani at the deadline. So what you're yearning for was not at the Nordstrom's that you went shopping to at the deadline. So I understand you want an Ohtani, you want a Mike Trout. The Bay wants it. But, Steiny,
So
that's not going to happen
29-18.
until the offseason. You weren't going to get that at the deadline.
Well, they took him off the table.
Which makes it now really you shouldn't be going up to the rooftop because Evan gave me all the baseball transactions in the National League for all the teams that are in the wild card. Steiny, there's no Hank Aaron. There is no, the Verlander and Scherzer went to the American League. I just don't know what would have made the Giants. What player would have we be like, oh, watch out, it's done.
Juan
That wasn't
Soto.
there. Well, he's still on the Padres.
I know.
They still got action.
I mean, I can name you a million players that would have helped.
No, I'm talking about ones that got
Thank
moved
you.
to other teams. Juan Soto's still on the Padres.
No, I know.
No.
But what I'm saying is Acuna could have helped.
Yeah, you think?
Well,
He's on
maybe
my
they did not.
fantasy team.
Maybe they didn't offer enough for Acuna.
Yeah. But I think they like where they're at.
The one thing Farhan said which was interesting, basically said if there wasn't a deal, there wasn't a deal. He said we could have traded half our roster for a number 5 starter.
Damn.
So
that's a walk-off.
And
That's a drop the
And here's
mic.
the other thing. Like, I don't equate not making a move with not being aggressive. He might have been aggressive, might have been unbelievably aggressive, making calls, taking calls, talking, trying to get something done. But if nothing makes sense in his mind,
Man, and we're talking about it. Not that Rick James was your first concert, so I know you got street.
it was an all-day concert, so it doesn't really count as seeing him.
There's a saying in the street, Steiny, all money ain't good money. And that's what Farhan did. Like, I can't do something just to do it. I just don't believe there was a move to put them and solidify them to where we'd be like, oh, watch out. They're fine. And if those reinforcements come back, I'm talking about Estrada, Haniger, and Yaz, which they are, I mean, who knows? And you held on to what you like on the farm.
Let's go to Rich. Rich is in Fremont.
Well, we can't call him the Razor, didn't we? This is Rich.
What's up, fellas?
What's up? You dropped a razor on for us, Rich.
Yeah, y'all
that was
beat me up
Steiny.
pretty bad last time I tried that. So,
That was mostly Steiny. I jumped in, but what's up, baby?
oh, nothing much, man. Listen, I gotta disagree with Steiny. You know how much I love to do that. And the reason why I disagree is because I'd rather have the Giants. I just think when you look at the two, it's like, okay, they got Shohei Ohtani. I appreciate that. He's a great player, and you like to have him on any team. But what do we know? At the end of the day, it's a team sport. And so when I look at the Giants to me right now, they're just a more complete team. And you just mentioned a minute ago, they bring back, Haniger and some of the other guys that are out. I just kind of feel like going into the postseason, that team would probably outlast the Angels team. And we know that when you get in the postseason, that's the cream of the crop. So you start to see teams that are not complete. You start seeing some instability. And I think that the Angels they might get to the second round, but I just don't think them coming out of that with who they have. Whereas the Giants, I believe the Giants could fight for a second round appearance and could battle in that second round. So of the two teams, I got to go with the Giants. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I was looking at it a little bit differently, and what I was looking at,
I was just going there.
That as was like if the Angels
Got in.
No. Like if right now you just switch the Angels and the Giants, and all of a sudden Farhan was the GM of the Angels, that makes me. But we already are sitting with Ohtani and
you would have got some new moves.
Like you have to acknowledge that Farhan has been able to make the Giants competitive year in and year out without Ohtani and without Trout. So I was kind of looking at it like, I get that the Angels, sure. Like, who's going to win the World? If it comes down to the Angels and the Giants in the World Series, Steiny, who would you pick? I'd pick the Giants to win the World Series. But what in my mind, what I was saying is, if the Angels roster were the Giants roster and Farhan Zaidi were the GM, we're going to be pretty good now and down the line because this guy knows how to build a team. And I think he would better be able to build a team around Ohtani and Trout than the Angels front office. I noticed I left you speechless.
No, I was just...
Which is usually means
sometimes it's
Steiny.
called letting it breathe.
Especially when it's right. Especially when it's right. The deadline is not a let's do something on this day event. It's a point at which it reflects all the work you've done up to that point. Look, I tell you what, 510, you're regular sports Aristotle. The deadline is not a let's do something on this day event. It's a point at which it reflects all the work you've done up to that point.
And you can prep and make an offer, and then a guy can have a no-trade clause like the Dodgers thought they were going to get from Detroit's Rodriguez. And what did he say? I ain't coming down there. I ain't going to.
Well, that's gutless.
I didn't like that. And he pitched today. He got the win. But
for Detroit?
Detroit, yeah, beat Pittsburgh. But still, Steiny, I mean, I'm just saying, to that guy's point, you can do all the groundwork, and if the other team don't want to play ball or wants you to get up off a prospect, Kyle Harrison or whatnot, then everything goes to smithereens. So you can't say teams didn't do their due diligence even though they didn't make a move. I don't believe.
Oh, 4-8, come on.
Giving you stuff.
No, if Farhan's the GM of the Angels, he's getting rid of Trout to save salary. I don't know if we can say
Evan,
that.
do we know when Trout's coming back? You have any idea?
They're swimming upstream right now without him.
Well, they've done a turnaround. They're hot.
Nothing for that.
Well, they lost to Atlanta today.
So
I'm going to get, you know what, Norm, if he's listening, you probably got a fisherman's hat coming. It's not any striped bass. You said Trout. That's pretty good. Your boy got it.
I'll tell you what I'm going to let you do right now.
Hold on. I got one person to answer to. Her name's Mia. What do you mean, let me?
I'm going to let you do something.
That didn't sound good.
Go ahead. No, I know you've been chomping at the bit. Go ahead. Tell people what my text was to you last night.
Mia!
The group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you sound so confident in the Giants.
Yeah.
We got two good catchers.
This is great.
It's very similar to...
I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, give me a second.
Go ahead. Because I'm sure I did it in the form of a question.
No,
you're never going to be able to find it.
Oh, I got it right now. Yours was a statement. Well, I got to get past the Kobe stuff because then it went there. Jesus.
Yeah,
I got strongly disagree.
I went night after the Kobe.
You know what I realized about yesterday?
Oh, here goes Steinmetz, 7:11 p.m. So they're down 3-0.
That's after.
Yeah, they're down 3-0.
Sable ripped the ball to left field, though.
You know what? That might have prompted it.
Yeah.
I'd move Bailey, get a big boy and tell Sable, catcher's job's yours.
Yeah.
MF been better than Bailey.
Hitting at the plate.
I'm out on singles hitting catchers.
Thank you.
Who call great games for staff with 2 starters.
Correct.
Joke. Then I came in.
Right. Joke means I'm joking.
Oh.
Thank you.
Was that before or after Bailey got subbed in and saved the game?
It was before.
See. Yeah.
But that's
7-14.
And what did I say? Joke.
Yeah, Steiny, you did. I missed
it. It is funny, though, Steiny, because you talk about in basketball how defense is half the game.
Oh, my God.
But then when it comes to baseball, the impact of defense doesn't quite seem to register like on the same level.
Well,
because Sable's a better hitter, so that means he's better, right?
No, not at all. Not at all.
How would you?
The catcher, we're talking specifically about the catcher position. And what I'm saying is this. If you have let's say you've got, let's say you have Brooks Robinson at third base, okay? The ball, when you hit the ball to third base or in that area,
the hot corner,
it's going to be an out.
Yeah.
But like a batter, for the most part, doesn't really have control of where the ball goes. I mean, yeah, they can pull a ball, but whatever. So a catcher, okay, if a catcher is a great defensive catcher, like, in a way, fine, then stay away from him. Like, you can't stay away from Brooks Robinson.
Okay.
Or you can't stay away from the greatest fielding shortstop in history, whoever that is. Yeah. Ozzie Smith. Yeah. Like, but if you have a catcher like Bailey, don't run on him.
Yeah, Steiny,
like, don't run on him.
But sometimes they're not running on the catcher; they're running on the pitcher.
Well, you always run on the catcher half of the time.
Okay, yeah, but if you got a pitcher that guys are already halfway there, and we saw that on the last road trip when they were playing the Nationals in Detroit.
But just agree with me on that.
Yeah, and that's why your boy wouldn't be in my lineup last night from Arizona. What the F are you doing, bro? We're down a run. And then
look, there's a huge advantage. Like,
I'm gonna see if the lineups
there's a huge advantage to Patrick Bailey being a great,
it's incredible
defensive catcher.
Yeah.
One of them is, first of all, guys shouldn't be as aggressive trying to steal. Guys shouldn't be dancing off first base trying to get a jump so that they might be able to score in a double. Like, that's important stuff. But you don't have to test him if you don't want to. Like what Perdomo did is inexcusable.
Right. But I think Bailey being, like we said, 18 or 19 guys he's thrown out.
But Bailey being a great defensive player would tell me as a base runner, be careful.
Well,
Instead,
you're going to find out. He saw a dude slipping and bam.
What about all the framing stolen strikes over the course of a season? Yeah. A great defensive catcher can save. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, a great defensive catcher for me is more of a deterrent for a base runner. But, like, in a weird way, I don't know. Does Bailey lead the league in guys thrown out at second? He's probably
leads the league in terms of caught stealing percentage.
Okay,
he hasn't played enough games.
Okay, so if I'm managing the other team, I acknowledge that, I respect that, and I say, you know what? Maybe against the Giants, we shouldn't be as aggressive trying to steal second base. Yeah.
But isn't that like saying, okay, because Draymond Green's in the paint in his prime, that we just don't attack the rim?
Yes,
that's a great one.
No, it's the exact same thing. That's what I'm saying. I'm giving him credit for, like, you can be a great defensive catcher. Like, if let's say, hypothetically, he's such a great defensive catcher that nobody ever tries to steal off him. I know I'm using a crazy example. Well, that's a great defensive catcher.
So let's say,
even though he doesn't lead the league in guys thrown out at second base, he's better than that because you don't even run on him in the first place.
You know, some teams are just, they let him hang. We're going to be aggressive, and wherever the chips fall, they fall. We're going for it on fourth down. This is what we do. If you were interviewing, who would you want to talk to from Arizona last night? The manager, the base runner?
Nobody.
Or would you be like, have you seen Bailey's thrown?
I've seen it enough. They did the same thing happen against the Cincinnati Reds.